You just had a 38-minute Jimquisition epic on Monday, and you're here Friday morning, the day of the Switch release, expecting more? More? Well, I don't know if you deserve it. What do you think, our corporate-mandated sponsor, the Cornflakes Homunculus? Gotta love that cornflakes tastelessness. Okay, you've twisted my arm. Let's have a quick extra Jimquisition, just for you. Right, let's talk about fur fun. No, actually, let's first talk about Dallas Review, a man central to the fur fun controversy that has been keeping Spanish audiences shaking their fists in rage before the story slowly started to creep toward international territory. Dallas Review is a Spanish YouTuber with over 4 million subscribers and, I'm led to believe, a rather sizable hatedom. According to my Spanish viewers who have poured in to help me understand the shitstorm, his main shtick is acting like an asshole to get people to talk negatively about him. A tactic that's worked for now, but is starting to become a bit of a PR problem. He's most famous, at least among his haters, for blocking out any and all criticism he receives, no matter how civil, as well as acting victimised after he starts some shit. Those are the allegations I feel comfortable sharing, having just come off a lawsuit, but the stories surrounding the guy get nastier from there. Short story, he's a big YouTuber, and according to everyone I've talked to about him, a big ring piece. Now let's summarise Fur Fun, and we can begin to join these two entities together. Fur Fun was originally called Jazzy and had nothing to do with Dallas. It was a failed crowdfunding project heavily criticised for basically copying Yooka-Laylee's Kickstarter submission. That's about it, really. I should have just started with this before Dallas, since it was just a sentence. Like, we're literally just about to mention Dallas's involvement, so this would have flowed better if I'd summarised Fur Fun first and then talked about Dallas, and then we could move right into the following stuff. Fuck. Although Jazzy obviously failed to get funded, the aforementioned Dallas Review made a big show of scooping it up out of obscurity by purchasing the project, renaming it Fur Fun, and ostensibly becoming its producer, though he calls himself the developer. He also inserted himself into the game as an unnecessary narrator, with a performance that, well, I'll let you be the judge.
Select him when you can reach raised areas. The size matters, you know? Jambe can enter holes or small cavities to open new areas for everyone. Small cavities. You can also find the football minigame, where you can have some kind of retarded footballs, weird, with things in the field, I don't know.
Despite that sort of commentary, the game is rated PEGI 3, a European rating that says the game is suitable for kids from the age of 3 and up. If you're wondering how a game with innuendo as subtle as Spunk Up the Nose got such a lenient PEGI rating, it didn't. The PEGI rating is misleadingly unofficial, having been pulled out of the developer/producer's arse. Fur Fun itself is not the absolute worst piece of shit I've ever played, but we're talking about games on Steam, that's not saying much. At least meeting the bare minimum standards, it's a low-quality Banjo-Kazooie ripoff with one character that looks like a Disney cease and desist waiting to happen. Oh, and there were Super Mario coins and Minecraft ingots shamelessly used before they got altered. Now that's really where the story should end, shouldn't be a Jimquisition. A YouTube guy buys a crappy game and publishes the crappy game on Steam Early Access where it continues to be crappy. Unfortunately, it seems Dallas Review is like James Romine on amphetamines, and his efforts to quash critics of Fur Fun fall starkly in line with his existing reputation as a content creator. First of all, Fur Fun doesn't flip assets so much as outright steals them, and this goes beyond the coins and ingots. Found within the game are several tracks from Banjo-Kazooie. You know, that popular game from Rare that is so beloved it absolutely boggles the mind that he thought he'd get away with it? The sound files weren't even fucking renamed. When called out on this, Dallas was evasive and hostile, and did say that Grant Kirkhope was involved at one point, so it was okay. When Banjo-Kazooie composer Grant Kirkhope denied any involvement with the game, the official Fur Fun Twitter account actually called him a liar. Yes, an allegedly professional video game Twitter account called a celebrated and respected composer a liar for saying he wasn't involved with the game he literally wasn't fucking involved with. Outside of Kirkhope, the Fur Fun account has been very busy blatantly insulting and attacking customers in one of the more bizarre takes on damage control I've seen for a while. Absolutely mind-boggling. Wait, I already did that one. Oh, and naturally, negative reviews about the game are deleted from the Steam page almost as soon as they go up, which almost goes without saying these bloody days. Leave a poor review, expect to be banished, etc. In an embarrassing twist that makes me absolutely cringe for the fucking guy, Dallas has been implying Furfun is a social experiment where he's making himself look like a high-octane cream stain on purpose as part of an elaborate plan. Oh, God. Just reading this affected smugness makes even me want to barf into a shoebox. Furfun's actual music composer, Rasmus, aka Raz Music, alleged he went unpaid for his work and asked for his name to be removed from the credits, distancing himself from an increasingly controversial project. Though he finally got paid after speaking up, Rasmus continues to keep his association with the game light, and I don't fucking blame him. As you can see, the whole thing's a toxic wasteland of nasty behaviour, dreadful business conduct, and some dude who can't take criticism, woefully unprepared for the criticism releasing a video game brings. And somehow, the story doesn't end there. Just to put a snowy peak on the cap of Mount Shitehawk, to perfect the situation and cement Dallas Review as one of Steam's classic terrible shithouse developers, he's been abusing YouTube's DMCA-inspired copyright takedown system to remove critical videos about Furfun from Steam. He's hit a couple of videos so far, when most devs only single out one, including Sid Alpha, who only recently got out of a copyright dispute with a different diaper-shitting company, Dentola Studios. Pretty much all the channels affected are small ones, which makes him a coward and a bully. And I feel okay calling him these things due to the fact that when I did a video about Furfun, I didn't receive any takedowns at all, not even an attempted one. In fact, I instead got an email from Dallas asking if I'd like a second code to try the game's multiplayer. When I instead suggested he reach out to all his critics this way rather than abuse YouTube's systems, he claimed he couldn't understand my sentence, which, I've been told, is not an unknown tactic of the guy. At any rate, apparently he won't touch my video either because of my reputation or because of my audience, which, while still utterly dwarfed by his, is not insignificant. Yet he'll happily stamp out content on way smaller channels, basically anybody he feels safe doing it to. Of all the Furfun specific behaviour from Dallas, this last point is perhaps the part that disgusts me the most. The ignorance of criticism, the insults, even the asset theft. So that's all pretty regular behaviour for the fucknut subset of indie developers. No, I said subset, not all indie devs, etc. But the multiple takedowns on channels he thought couldn't hope to fight back? That's low. That's fucking low. That's lower than Digital Homicide, lower than Fun Creators, lower than Cobra Studios, lower than Dentola. And the worst part of it is, Dallas, yeah, I'm addressing you now and I know you can understand me. The worst part is, you're a YouTuber. You're part of the media that is plagued by these spurious takedown abuses. Constantly. And yet you yourself are happy to weaponize a system that's weaponized regularly against people just like you in order to push around people less famous than you are. These takedowns fuck with people's incomes, limit people's creative abilities on YouTube, and increase the risk of someone losing their channel entirely. Now, YouTube can be a competitive place, and everyone's scrabbling for a piece of relevance. But if there's one thing that seems to unite a vast majority of content creators, it's an extreme distaste for abusive DMCA takedowns. You should know this. How do you not fucking know this? Or did you just think that because these channels were small, nobody would notice? Well, you've really DMCA'd yourself in the A with this one, matey boy, because I do mean it when I say you've acted worse than Digihom or Digpex or any of them. Your primary status as a YouTuber alone makes these DMCA takedowns not only pathetic, but fucking treacherous. I don't know what you're like as a person. To be honest, I don't know much about you at all outside of this situation, and I don't particularly want to. But if I were to judge you based solely on your behaviour with your shit game about a cat and fucking Timon, I'd have to say you were an absolute cunt. I've said this one before, but I think it bears repeating. How on earth do you masturbate at night knowing whose hand's on your dick? Anyway, that's that done. This video is here to act as a loudspeaker more than anything else, an amplification of the message that Furfun's so-called developer has worked so hard to suppress. Whether or not he'll actually have the nerve to attempt taking this one down obviously remains to be seen, but Dallas, mate, I wouldn't recommend it. Oh, and the other guy who's also DMCAing stuff in Furfun's name, some anus called Doki, you can fuck yourself too. Sort yourselves out. Fuck's sake. Fucking cat hair all over this goddamn thing. Anyway, that was the story of Fur Fun and Dallas Review. The whole thing's a big controversial mess. I know I've probably left bits out. In fact, I know for a fact I've left bits out. I couldn't be fully comprehensive without probably doing another 38-minute video, and you're not getting another one of those for a while. Okay, so just be thankful for what you get, and if you're gonna thank anyone, thank God. For me. There's no Konami news this week. You've had enough. Enough. What up YouTube, it's your boy Jim Sterling with a life hack for you. When someone tells you to have a good day, whether you're at a restaurant, whether you've just been dropped off by a cab or whatever, and you say back to them, you too, don't mean you too. Think of the Irish popular band U2, and then you're just saying you too. They've wished you a good day, and you haven't wished them one back, but they don't know it. You won! Life hack!